So welcome everyone to today's session. We're so glad that you could join us today. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're just gonna wait for more people to join in. So we just wanna give everyone 5 minutes to settle in and join in. And while we're that, can everyone just type in the chat box and introduce yourselves and tell us where you're joining us from today. So just in the chat box, type in your name, where you're joining from, and we're so glad that you could make it to our session today. Right, so I see that in our chat box, we have Natasha, who's joining us from Centurion today, and just type in your names there, guys. And then we have Ricardo from Cape Town, and yeah, so just keep the chats coming, and we're excited for you. Juanita, who's joining us from the Eastern Cape, my hometown, or my home province. I'm actually from Queenstown, which is like literally in the outskirts of the Eastern Cape. So I'm actually from Bloemfontein. We have Sephora from Pretoria, and yeah. So this is actually creating like like a network in the ability for us to just kind of know everyone in the alumni network. All right, so we're gonna be starting in the next 3 minutes, and for those who are just joining us in the chat box, everyone just letting us know where they're joining us from, where they're joining this session from, and their name in the chat box. And we're so glad that you could join us today. And we see that Brent and Peterson from Nelspruit just joined us. Hi, Sai from Pretoria. Thank you, welcome. All right, and also, if you could just share the link with other people, your friends who would want to join in and hear from our panelists today. It's going to be really, really interesting, them sharing their stories and how they've been able to navigate through this pandemic, because it has not been easy for any business owner, and for most especially for the entrepreneurs. And it has been really, really, really hectic. I see we have Christian from Uganda, who graduated from WITS. Welcome, and we are really, really looking forward to today's session. We definitely know that you're going to be enjoying. I see we have a hand in the attendees session. All right, it's Heta van Denver. Thank you. Welcome to our session today. We're going to be starting in the next 2 minutes, and for those who just joined in, just let us know where you're joining us from, and your name in the chat box. We have Adam from Zimbabwe. Welcome, Adam. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are really, really looking forward to our session today. So we're just going to give everyone 1 more minute for them to join us, and yeah. Botlo go from Lesotho, welcome. I see the numbers are definitely going up, and we are really, really excited to be hosting this session today. This is our first session is the Western Cape Alumni Society. We are really, really excited for you guys to be here today, and we're looking forward to hear from our speakers today who are joining us, and they're going to be sharing their stories for those who are just joining. All right, so now it's 5 minutes past 6. We're going to be beginning our session. We're beginning our session today. All right, so before we dive into things, I just want to lay some house rules. Like first, I'm going to be repeating them after doing some introductions. So some house rules during the sessions from now onwards, can just make sure that you write your questions in the Q&A session below, so that we don't miss them in the chat box. Right. So I'm going to be introducing myself. I'm Edward Ngwetapile. I'm doing my postgrad in accounting at the University of the Western Cape. I'm also a business owner myself, and that's why I really appreciate kind of being joined by fellow entrepreneurs who are also navigating through what we've been navigating these past few months. So with me, I have my team. I have Zalfa, who's doing a master's in anthropology from the University of the Western Cape. Then I have Raiz, who's a medical doctor doing the entrepreneurship internship, pardon me for that. Then we have Ricardo, who's doing a PhD in wine biotechnology, really, really interesting stuff. So that's my team. It's Alpha, Edward, Ricardo, and Zaiz. Welcome, guys, and thank you for joining us. Then today, for the people who are really going to take us through this session, just to kind of tell us, their thoughts and their experience during this pandemic. We are really looking forward to hearing from them. With me, I have Sanet Echalar, who is a self-taughter. She taught herself to bake, pardon me for that, and she was a teacher in 2012. I'm just going to read her bio. So Sanet is a self-taught baker who started baking cupcakes and selling at the local mall to pay for a wedding. After being a teacher for a few years in 2012, she bid teaching farewell to follow her dreams and opened a coffee shop. So for our fellow entrepreneurs in the house, you would know that whatever job you're in, like at the current moment, if you have a passion, you have to go with it and you have to follow it, which is what we're going to be hearing from Sanet Ikhalar. Sanet, welcome. Then with me as well, as part of our panelists, we have Jamie Feinhardt. Jamie, he has a big bio. Trust me, guys. It's really long. I'm just gonna give you guys the synopsis, and Jamie's gonna tell us more about that. So Jamie, he's actually an entrepreneur himself. Received numerous entrepreneurship awards from the University of the Western Cape, and more special about the social responsibility. And he was actually the Student Achiever of the Year and the Alumni Vice President of the South African Golden Key organization. He continues to pursue his drive to alleviate poverty by being a mentor for teenentrepreneur.co.za. And his main focus at the moment is we are the agency, which is .co.za, his concept development agency, which is focusing at the moment. But guys, we're gonna be hearing more from Jamie, his journey, how he's been navigating the pandemic, as I've said. All right, so that's it from my end. But before I pass it over to my colleague, pardon me for that, I just want to lay some house rules for those who just joined in again. So if you have any questions, just please make sure to drop them in the Q&A session so that they don't get lost in the chat section. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us tonight. And I know you will enjoy our session tonight. Ricardo, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edward. Thank you so much for the warm welcoming, and it is absolutely great just to start off our first ever talk about Entrepreneurship Share story. I can clearly remember the day that we, as the committee, had decided what are we planning for the year, and the COM came up with, let's share your story, and then we're going to cover different perspectives of it. So the first one was entrepreneurship. And I remember how we all were excited to have this discussion, because we feel like we want to educate the audience, but we also want to learn from those that already has the experience. And that is why we have decided to invite Jamie and Sanet to be part of our first guests in terms of the series that we're going to have. So Jamie and Sanet, thank you very much and welcome to our first session. So as Edward has for reading your bio, so I'm just going to navigate some questions to you guys. Sanet, let's start with you. So just tell me about who Sanet is, where she grew up, and a little bit more about your business.
Hi guys, I'm Sanet. I started teaching, and every little girl has a dream. And my dream was to have my own coffee shop and bake awesome cakes and sell awesome coffee. And that's all the things I love. And I started baking things to make extra income. As a teacher, I didn't get a lot of money as a young teacher, and I needed money to get married. So I started baking for friends and for colleagues, and that's where it all started. So then I decided, well, this is great. I can actually make some money from this. I can make more money from this. And I started baking and selling my cupcakes as the name Cup of Cake, which is my business name, cupcakes in little cups, and started selling them at little markets, in local markets, and then in Cape Town, and obviously getting clients. And I'm a self-taught baker. I baked from when I was 7 years old. So growing up in a family that loves baking and eating. So that was awesome. And the clients became more, and it actually became a thing of, well, this is actually going to take over teaching. I can actually make money from this, and I love doing this. So I decided to leave my teaching job, take the big leap, and start my own business. And that's where Cup of Cake started.
Wow, amazing. Thanks for the beautiful introduction. Jamie, tell me more.
Thank you, Ricardo. So I'm Jamie Thursmango, the Cape Town boy. I've been through quite a bit when it comes to business. If I go back and say what I studied, I was actually studying biotech. So I'm proud for you, Ricardo, for also doing biotech. I have a passion for that. So my business background is from doing biotech at UWC. I was part of the Entrepreneurship Society at UWC as well. And my role there was also to help other people on campus with their businesses or organizations to get the organizations organized and get them started on campus. When I left the university, people were still coming to me and saying, hey, Jamie, please help us with our business. We didn't know what to do. We didn't know the market. And I started a lot of people that want to start businesses and have brilliant ideas, but don't know where to go with it. And I continued helping people with their business. I started making that my business as the agency. And from there, I also studied further. I went to study design thinking at UCT's GSB. And that really opened my mind up around how do we solve problems and being customer centric, and also being able to know when you're starting a business or have an idea, are you doing this just because you think it's a cool idea, or are you doing this because you're actually trying to solve a problem? And the big thing around business, and I think I'll go into this a bit later, if your business is solving a problem, like with Sane's business, people want cakes, they can't make it themselves. So you're going to buy some cup of cake. And there's a lot of people that have really cool ideas, but the main thing is knowing what are you solving? And this is what I do as a business. I started the agency, and what we're doing now, and there's even more things that we're developing now, but our main core focus is concept development, where we help people either scale their business, or we help people start their business from ideation to validation and go to market. Like even right now, I'm sitting in a guest house, and this is one of my clients. I just arrived just before the call, and I'm gonna help transform this guest house, along with understanding how do you work with other people in your community, how do you get local products in, how do you develop your brand, and also looking at what is the appropriate approach for your brand. Do you go Instagram? Do you go LinkedIn? Do you go Facebook? Do you go YouTube? So that's the kind of the behind the scenes of what I have. There's more things behind my name as well. So I'm starting a bank. We're going to see it launching soon. It's called Better. We've been working on this for like forever. I can't wait for it to launch. It's going to blow your mind to see what we've worked on for an entire new digital bank that's powered by AI. So it thinks on your behalf and invests your money on your behalf. And it does a whole bunch of things without you having to think about money at all. So that's kind of a sum up of my background. There's a whole lot more, but I don't want to talk your ear off right now.
All right. So my next question, thanks for the introduction, Sunit and Jamie. I would like to know, what should you do before considering starting a business? Jamie, I think we'll start with you with that.
Yes,
what
this
should
is
you
exactly
do?
what I do. And people always come and they have a business in mind. So either you're leaving your day job, or you're leaving your teaching job to start the cake company, or you just have a good idea and you want to go. I would first say the first thing you do before starting your business, before making an holistic investment towards a business, the first thing is validate. If you have an idea, you have a business, to see, is there a need for this? And how do I prove that it works? If I even just use Tanet as a case study to say she started off small. Start off small and you start realizing, hey, more and more people want this. Because often what happens, and if I look at in corporate, for instance, we have this idea, we call it the hippo mentality, the hired paid person's opinion. And I don't know if some people might be working in corporate right now, but you know this way, because the CEO has an idea, throws it in the boardroom, everyone just says, yes, we're going to go with this idea. And the CEO, they pump millions of budget into this, and it's a stupid idea. But look, I'm not going to say any idea is stupid, but you're only going to know how good or bad something is after you actually validate. The truth is, what you need to do before you invest those millions into the business is to first understand who is your market, and go physically ask them questions. Go ask them, do you want this? How does it work? What are your problems? And once you actually get enough information to validate your business is going to be a success, then I would say start your business. Like if Sunette was going to, instance, make a new flavor of cupcakes, you can you can look at your customers and say, what is the number one seller? And maybe I should focus on making more of that number one seller and maybe then introduce new business. But I can let Sunette also say how she feels about starting a business. But my number one thing is validate, understand who your customers are and validate your business from there.
Some valuable points that you've mentioned there. Thank you so much. Sinead?
Yes, Jamie almost said exactly what I thought. Is like, just don't throw everything in and go big. For me, it is about starting small and grow from that. Once you've put everything in, everything's in. But if you start small, you can see what people want. You can see, you get the feeling of where are you going? Maybe you have an idea of what you think you're doing, and then you get to a point where it's not what you're doing. It's not what people want. So if you start small, you can grow with your idea. You can grow with the market, rather than going in big and losing. So for me, that's the number one thing is start small and grow from that. And then the other thing is, for me, passion. You need passion. I'm very lucky to do what I love and call that my job. And I think there's so many people that can't say that. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, just do it because you love it. Have passion for what you do. And from there, go with what you're doing. And know your strengths. And I mean, know what's your skills. Know where's your ability and where it ends as well, and where you need help. Someone like Jamie coming in. I'm not a tech guy. I know nothing about social media. Get someone. Ask someone to help. Even if it's small, ask a friend who knows. Even if it's a favor at the beginning and it's not someone you pay. Know your own skills, know what's your strengths and where it ends. I think that's for me the three main things.
Yeah, hit that space on a lot, and those three things does explain a lot in terms of starting a business. And this leads to my next question. When does an idea, so when do you know an idea has become a business? And what was the biggest achievement within your business? So first of all, when do you know your idea is validated to become a business? And what has been your biggest achievement within your business? Sunit.
When do you know? I don't know. Some may say it's when you make money. When do you make money? I can tell you that you have to know that it takes a lot of work to make money. People think owning your own business is fun and games. There's no entitlement. So when does it work? I think when people want more. When people want more. And for me, it's even when you sell something at a market, when the same person come back for the same thing every week, that for me is like, yay, I've made it. The biggest achievement, you know what? I know we're gonna touch this later on, but keeping my door open during COVID, that's my biggest achievement. That is an achievement. So for me, that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. Jamie?
Nice. Thanks also for that, Sunit. Where I feel technically, I would say, and I think it fits in nice with what Sunit's saying. But for me, I would say when you actually have a client base and you're making a profit, because an idea can be, anyone can make ideas, but once that idea becomes something that's going to make you money, then I would say you have a business. If you have your clientele, like Sunit said, and they keep coming back, you can say that you have a business, but you can't say you have a business when you just have an idea and you're laying there on your bed and you're watching TV and you're watching Netflix. You can't be laying there saying I have a business. I think when you feel you have a business, when you start feeling the stress, because I know business, people think entrepreneurs get to sip cocktails on the beach and live their best life. But the truth is, when you start feeling the stress of being a business, then I would say you have a business. When it comes to my achievements in my business, I can't even say what's my biggest achievements. I think there was things that I was proud of though in my business. And one year I went to the designing Daba that was at the City Hall, years pre-COVID things. And I was looking and thinking, wow, this is such an amazing, like how they're bringing all these people together and doing all these things. And I said that year, I wish I can be involved in this designing Daba. And I just said it, I would say, to the universe. And the next year, I kind of forgot about it. But the next year, I got a call. Someone heard about me and contacted me and said, Jamie, we know you have this company where you help businesses and things, and we're going to set a market where we're doing things with little businesses. Would you want to get involved? And I'm like, how did you even know I exist? And I think that what to me made me feel proud that I was able to work my business up and work my profile up to a point where people who don't even know me wants me to get involved in things that I actually want to get involved in. That to me, I think, was one of my achievements. There's a lot of things that are coming up, and I definitely feel like I can be grateful for things. But that's something that I think touched home with me to make me feel like I actually feel appreciated and noticed as an entrepreneur. Yeah, thank you, Ricardo.
Yeah, so it seems like people just see the results, but not the effort that goes within starting the business. And before we're gonna move on to the effects of COVID, so apart from COVID-19, what was your biggest challenge in the business and what have you learned from it, Jamie?
So my challenges, and this is where I also had to look at pivoting my business and shaping things. And this is even things around COVID as well. So I've got a consultation company. And one of the biggest issues I can say that I've been facing is that I can't even say, how do I even put this into words? I can't say turning people down, but my heart wants to help every single entrepreneur. And entrepreneurs come and they have brilliant ideas, but the issues that I've been having where people come through and say, hey, Jamie, let's have a meeting. I want to do a consultation with you, but we don't have money. And to me, my job is literally to help you with your business, but now it's a case of a chicken and an egg, where you need the business to make the money, but you need to have a consultation to start the business. So that I think has been a challenge with me. And I feel like we've kind of been sorting this out as a company right now, because what I started doing is a lot of things that people used to come as a startup. They always ask the same questions. And I thought, instead of me waiting for them to go through these questions, I started putting together content for them. Started putting together little packages, say, hey, there's little tools you can use for free to help your business. And I even put it together now. We have developed a TV show because the content became such good content. We put it on our blog. I didn't even realize this, but our blog on our website started getting hits. We have like 15,000 hits per month on our blog. And I didn't realize how valuable this content is. And that's when we started turning this into a TV show. And my TV show is going to be airing on the 3rd of October, sorry. 3rd of October is going to be airing every Sunday at 12:30. And this is really about the stories of entrepreneurship to help people have a step up. So instead of starting as an entrepreneur from the little bottom, you can learn from other entrepreneurs and how you can be building this. And we're going to be sharing this through the Golden Key Network if other entrepreneurs want to hear about this. But the challenge I had there was people are coming to me, and it takes up time to do consultations, and it takes some time to meet people and to hear them out and have their ideas, where I could have been working on paying clients in that case. And also my heart, because when someone tells me their idea and I feel like that's such a good idea, I want to help you. And I often used to help people for free. But the problem there that I had to face was when there isn't the financial commitment from the client, then they can easily just say, okay, we started now doing this for a week, and Jamie and the agency doing all this work. The next week they say, you know what, running a business isn't for me. But I'm like, but we did all this work and I did this work for free. So I had to burn my fingers there by realizing that you can't always help everybody, and running a business is not for everybody. So that's the lessons and challenges I had to learn in my business. And I'm sure that lots of companies also do this thing where they give out free things, and often the free things doesn't convert into sales. So that's a lesson we have to learn. When you give out free things, just give it out smartly.
Yeah, that's actually quite fruitful. Thanks for that, Jamie. So Nate, what was your biggest challenge and what have you learned prior to COVID?
I think my biggest challenge is not to work too hard. As I said, owning your own business, it's not sipping cocktails, Jamie, as you said. And I often forget that it is okay to have a life as well. It's okay to have a life after being an entrepreneur, after being a business owner. And looking after your mental health is very important. And for me, the challenge was to juggle that and, you know, being mentally healthy whilst owning a business, whilst running a household, and not only looking after your business, but looking after yourself. Because if you don't look after yourself first, you can't look after your business. So for me, that's always the biggest challenge, not going too far, you know, not working too hard, putting everything into business and forgetting about yourself. And I've learned my lesson hard, being someone struggling with mental health. So, and I think pre-COVID, during COVID, post-COVID, there's so many people struggling with that. And, you know, it's a daily thing, and you need to balance that out.
I absolutely agree with you, especially when it gets to mental health. I personally feel it's a topic that needs to be discussed more often. A lot of people, because there's a lot of bad annotations toward mental health itself, number one, but also people see it as a sign of weakness. People see it as a sign of you are in, like, your mental problems has conquered you, but that is into contrary what the mental health is. Like, I think if you give enough attention to your mental health, it gives you enough strength to overcome your personal battles with regards to that. And I actually love the fact that you've highlighted that, because I advocate for mental health, and I want people to self-evaluate and actually ask yourself, where am I mentally, physically, emotionally, and financially, and which areas do I need to focus on? So thanks for sharing that. So before we conclude our session, I just want to know, how did COVID-19 influence your business, and how can the broader community, as the audience, as the rest of the panel, assist you in your business, Sanette?
I think, well, mainly revenue, money. Isn't that what the bottom line? It's what it's all about, and it's not for our own pocket. It is the well-being of our staff members. And I think if you look at the especially in our industry, COVID have touched us hard, closing down. People, I mean, so many doors have been closed. Yes, staff members that has COVID, isolating, people getting stuck in this, people getting in a bad space, worried, stressed, the sleepless nights of how am I going to pay the people that work for me, people getting laid off. I mean, it's endless. It's endless. The how did it affect us? But also what we have to remember, and that's where I always try to be different. Yes, today I had a bad day. Today I was negative. Yes, I have staff members that has to isolate. Our hands are tight. We do not have enough hands. We have a lot of work. And I was negative about it for the first time in 18 months. So for me, it learned to be positive, stay positive, think out of the box, getting new ideas because you have to sell. So yes, it didn't just bring bad. It brought things along the way of thinking differently about things, handling your, staff members with gloves, because everyone has an emotional state that they come to work with, but also being strong. So yes, it touched us all. How can the broader community support us? Support local. Support local as best as far as you can. If you have the means, still, if you're scared to go out, because that's the other thing, people are scared to go out, they do not spend. But if you have the means, get a takeaway, still support, give an extra tip, go think out of the box. And I think the main thing for me, and what I told my staff members today as well, is we have to treat each other with grace and patience, because we are tending to get a bit frustrated, and then we get nasty with each other, with clients. Clients get nasty with us. Be a bit more patient with each other, with what we're going through. Maybe that guy in front of you didn't sleep because he's worried about how he's going to pay his people tomorrow. So yes, I think that for me is the main thing. And stay positive. Surround yourself with a support network of people that's positive, and try to keep that up. A smile takes you a long way. So yes, that's how you support. Don't name and shame. Come to the person. Share on social media the good things, not only the bad. Share on your awesome experience. I think for me, that's the main thing. Just being awesome, not nasty.
Yeah. Wow, what you said is so heartfelt, and I agree with you 100%. I think for me, throughout the COVID-19, I think business owners have this huge responsibility for their employers, right? Because now it's not just giving a salary to your employers, but your employers has a family of which those finance that you provide needs to go for food, it needs to go for school fees, it needs to go for a lot of things from there. And it's not easy for the business owner to let go of their staff, right? Number one. And it's not easy for them to decide, but let's cut the staff's salary in half, because for the business owner, it's not just your employees, but it's also their family that is attached and that is dependent on the salary that you need to provide. And I can't imagine how much is that on a business owner's shoulders. And secondly, you have touched based on sharing. I think we as people on social media love to share like celebrities and all the other people interests that we have on social media. But I think it only also takes just a share of a button to support the local businesses. I think the more the name can be out there, the more people can know about it. And when they pass a place, oh, but I know cup of cake. I've heard it somewhere. Let's check it out, you know. If we can see the brand more often, I think that's where people will engage more. I think it takes about seven times on average for people to react to a certain brand. So if people can share more on social media or just by word of mouth, that helps a lot for the business as well. So thanks for sharing those keynotes and heartfelt words. It actually touched me while you were talking. Jamie, to get to you, how did COVID influence your business and how can the broader community assist?
Nice. I'm actually going to send my email address in the chat now because I want to actually offer the viewers something here. I'm going to work on a new project, and this project came about because of COVID. Lots of people were laid off during COVID, and that's when I would almost say my business spiked because more people had business ideas or more people realized I can't depend on a 9 to 5. I need to do something for myself. And a lot of people came with really good ideas to our company, but there was still the issue of funding. So what we do in our agency is we set up a platform where the general public can invest in these startups ideas. We're launching this in December. We might have the site up by November if we do. But what I want to do right now is talk to some people that might be interested in investing. You don't have to physically invest yet. I just want to pick your brain around why do you invest? How do you invest? Have you even invested? Or even if you haven't invested before? Because the thing right now that we're doing is to start up a startup, if I'm going to say it like that, you need seed funding. And that's probably the most important money that a startup needs, but it's not a lot of money. But that amount of money can change the trajectory of where this business goes. And the nice thing is for an investor, if you get into a business when it's still small and you invested, just imagine if you were one of the shareholders of Amazon or Apple or Vodacom or all these things when they were still in the startup phase. So the opportunity to the general public to become an investor, and I don't mean investing millions. We want to look at building a platform where we can do crowd investing, where you can invest from 100 Rand, 1,000 Rand, 10,000 Rand, depends on what your budget is, and get a portion of shares in the startup if you believe this is going to be a good idea. And I think that's what I want to call out to how you guys can help me by helping me help these startups. Some of them are really doing amazing things. And on our website, what we're going to do is showcase who they are and what their business idea is. And you can choose whether you're interested in investing in that idea or not. So that's what I want to do. Pop me an email if you want to just be part of the early adopters for now. I'm going to say now, we're not going to take any money from you right now if you're an early adopter. We just want to find out from you what influences your decision when it comes to making investments. And then see how just by giving us that information, how do we enhance this platform to be able to appeal to more investors and to help these startups with their businesses.
Thank you so much for that opportunity as well, Jamie. I think what you basically teaching us is principles in terms of investments. And I think we need to start thinking about your investments now to reap the fruits at the later stage. And thank you for granting the opportunity for.
I want to say one thing, Ricardo, regarding investments. If you play the lotto, right, you spend a lot of money and you hope that you can win the lotto. I would rather say buy shares in companies. You can still get the kick of, oh, it's a risk, but you're guaranteed something. When you play the lotto, you're not guaranteed anything. If you actually just took a lot of tickets, like what, 15 Rand each, you spend 100 Rand a week playing lotto, pop that 100 Rand into an investment in someone's small business. And you guaranteed if this business can be operated effectively. And that's where we come in as the agency. We're going to help vet these companies and make sure that they have the business support. So you're not just giving an investment and it's going nowhere. We're going to be working with these businesses to help them. The only thing that they need now is just the startup capital. So we're appealing to people to start helping these startups. But I would say the return you're going to get when these businesses succeed, like jump in now. That's what I want. Yeah. Thank you also for the comments they saying shares for the win and, and that kind of thing. I really think this is going to really revolutionize a lot of people's ideas. And also, if you out there and you have business ideas, also pop me a mail. We can see how we can get you onto this platform as well. Thanks,
Thanks so much, Sanette. Final question. Tell us, where is Cup of Cakes? Where can we find it? How can we reach out to you, and also your final words.
Cup of Cake is situated in a small town on the west coast, Saldanha. Awesome place, Saldanha and Cup of Cake. You can find us on Cup of Cake Saldanha on Facebook and also on Instagram, or you can pop us a mail on orders@cupofcake.co.za. But yeah, just check us out on Instagram or Facebook. And I think my final words would be that if you have a dream, don't give up on it. There's people like Jamie who's going to help you out. Platforms like this, keep on fighting. There's stay positive. There's something's gonna give in, and if you stay positive, something's gonna come from it. And a dream is there to not to just dream about it. Dreams can come true.
Thank you so much. Sanet, I will ask you just to put the address on the chat for the viewers. So, because definitely if I'm going to go to Saldanha sometime soon, I will definitely want to have some of your cupcakes. So please just share your information. Jamie, final words?
Final words from my side. I think I'm definitely want to agree with Neta. I can try the cupcakes as well. But I think what you guys are doing is golden key. Even I'm speaking to the people that's on this platform now, just for being here shows that you are different to other people. You actually want to make a difference in your life and in your community, and you care about yourself and your growth. So keep on growing. Just don't forget the people around you, and you can grow together. Those people around you can be your support, even if they're your enemies. Those enemies, let them encourage you no matter what happens. But there's so much more that can go on. And if you do have ideas, if you do have businesses, contact me, contact other people. Like Sanet also mentioned, even if it's something small that you need to find out about, maybe I'm sure she might also have some ideas for you, but get in touch. And I think grow your network and know your market if you want to get things going. That's my signing out. Yeah, but thank you so much for the platform, Ricardo.
Thank you so much. And thanks for you and Sanet for joining me in discussion. I'm just going to hand over to Zulpa just to do the questions from the audience so that we can get their perspective as well. And then we will have Rahis after her to do the thanks. So over to you, Zulpa.
Thank you, Ricardo, and thanks to our guest speakers for the interesting and very informative session on entrepreneurship. And I can see our chat was really interested in the work you're doing. So we have quite a few questions from Jeromium Julius. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name. So Jeromium wants to know, both Sanet and Jamie, throughout your entire journey up until now, what is the one personal characteristic of yourself that you feel like improved the most? Jamie?
Okay, I want to answer this, and this is something that's been coming on since high school and university. Procrastination. That's something I used to suffer from so much, and what I've learned as an entrepreneur, get things done. Don't lay things off. Don't say, oh, I can do this tomorrow. And this is advice I'm going to give to my kids as well. You might think you have time, but you blink and it's the next month. So that's the biggest thing I can think that's grown in my character, is how I've learned to manage my time and to procrastinate less. Yeah.
Jamie, we could have been twins. I think for me, definitely procrastination, but asking for help, thinking that I can do everything, being in control. I'm still struggling every day. It's a daily struggle for me. Need to be in control and doing everything yourself. You can't. You need to ask for help. And it's not only you. And that's why I said, know your skills and where it ends.
Thank you. Just another question posed by Jeromium, particularly to Sunette. What are your biggest lessons you have learned when you were started off your baking business?
I think well, that's just who I am. I want to please people. I think Jamie also touched base on this, where you want to help everyone. You want to please everyone. You want to have everything for everyone, but you can't. I can't have everyone's favorite every day. I think you have an idea and it's not always going to go there, and you need to just take a step back, look at what you're doing and say, okay, this is where I'm going. And I don't have to please everyone, and also not yourself the whole time. So for me, it's like, you can't please everyone.
Okay, thank you. So one from me, Minele Zuziwe. Jamie, this one is for you. Does your business help start up small businesses in terms of seeking ways for funding?
Yes, and I think I probably covered that as well. So that was one of the biggest issues that entrepreneurs have. You can have a good idea, you can have, you might even have the skills and everything you need, but starting a business can sometimes be pricey, depends on what business you're going into. So before this platform now, we help entrepreneurs put the pitch deck together so they can pitch on to investors. But now we flipped it around and said, let us even go find the investors for you. So that's what we're doing right now. Cool,
so then
you.
Another question. Okay, thank you. So then another question by Nathuko Hele is posed to both business owners is which channels did you use for funding? Also, how did you market your business? Jamie?
Okay, so I think I was self-funded because I worked really hard and put things away and work towards things. So the question regarding funding, I would say, if you are a young entrepreneur, there are lots of avenues for funding. There's government. Okay, not all the avenues I would say is reliable, but in business, we say, go to your 3 F's first. That's friends, families, and fools. The ones you talk to first to see if they can help you with your business. But you can go to NYDA. NYDA does support small businesses, and based on the industry that you're in, you can go to different government organizations, like if you're in energy, or if you're in farming, or if you're in different industries. Just check out the government website. You can give it to Google even. There's lots of platforms for funding regarding those things, if you want to get a grant or those things. But I would actually say, if you need money right now, friends, families, and fools, those are you go to. When it comes to marketing, the way I marketed my business, we actually didn't do any physical marketing as the agency. What I started realizing is that people were coming to me because they knew me. They knew me at university, they saw the projects I was involved in, or they've either worked with me in some area, and that's how I was getting clients. So I would say, you are your brand. And if you're representing your brand, people are going to come to you. People are going to see what you're doing. They're going to see the results, and that's where they get through to you. But with that in mind, there also are other avenues if you want to market your business. There's Facebook, there's YouTube, there's social media, there's TikTok. If you know who your market is, if you know, okay, my market is older people that go to a certain place, then you know, okay, I must maybe put this in the newspaper, to advert in the newspaper. If you know my market is under 18s, make a TikTok. If you know my market is whatever the situation is, if you understand who your target audience is, you're going to know which channels to use to market to that audience. And that's my advice when it comes to marketing.
Okay, thank you. Unfortunately, we have to wrap up, sorry. We're running out of time now. So thank you for taking the time to answer the questions, and thanks to everybody who interact with us and was willing to ask questions and ultimately help yourself grow or learn more about the business industry. So thank you for taking the time to answer questions again. So just to close off, I'm going to turn over to Rais.
Hi everyone. Sorry, I just struggling a bit with my internet connection. I'd like to just an event such as this does not come together without the efforts of many. So I would like to thank everyone, especially the Golden Key Western Cape Alumni Committee for coordinating this event. I'd also like to thank Golden Key South Africa for providing this platform to everyone. And I'd like to thank the speakers. I think that they've offered us a lot of insight and valuable information, and it's been really pleasant watching everyone engage tonight. Ricardo with the questions, and also Zulfa now via the question and answer. And I look forward to many more of these sessions in the future with other entrepreneurs sharing their stories as well. So thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Sunit. I think we've learned a lot from you. And I hope that this platform has offered everyone some benefit tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening and watch out for our following sessions that will follow soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.